This is video 9 of the Cadet Training Plan Instructional Series. In this video, we will demonstrate how to register Year 5 cadets, how to select complementary content for those Year 5 cadets, we'll take a tour of the Master Scheduler, and we'll introduce Year 5 cadet scheduling. These are all tools that you will use as the start of the training year approaches and you know who your returning Year 5 cadets will be. Also, at this point, you should be working with your approved training plan. Note here on the status messages, once you've scheduled all of your mandatory training classes for Year 5, you will get a status message that indicates you can now register those Year 5 cadets in the PO Wizards screen. So we click there, go into the PO Wizards, and click on the Year 5 Cadet tab. To enter a cadet, you click into the name field here and you type in the cadet's name. And then you click Add Year 5 Cadet. And the cadet appears in the cadet register on the left-hand side. And then you would continue adding other Year 5 cadets. And you just keep adding your Year 5 cadets. And we'll just add one more. Now, one of the things that you need to do once you've, as part of this registration process, you notice that there's complementary choices required for each Year 5 cadet. And at this time, because those choices aren't completed for any of these cadets, it's showing up as red. And we will enter those choices here where it says PO choices. One of the things that you need to do is you need to sit down with those Year 5 cadets and discuss with them what their complementary training options are and allow them to select their preferences individually. Once you've determined what each cadet's choices are, you go into the PO Choices button. On the left-hand side, you're going to see the mandatory PO list, which is just for informational and reference purposes. On the right-hand side, then, it indicates that you need to choose 3 complementary POs for each cadet. And they need to pick 3 modules, and 2 of which can be from any PO. One of which needs to be elementally specific content, basically 520 or higher, depending on the element. Only one complementary EO from each PO may be used as the minimum requirement. So they can't select 2 modules from the same PO and have it have both of those count towards these requirements. So you simply click on the drop-down box beside each choice, select a particular choice. As you then move along, the list will filter so that that previous choice is no longer in the list, and you make another selection. As you move along, it does ensure that you satisfy that elemental selection requirement. Once you've completed the 3 choices, you simply close the form for that cadet, move on to the next cadet, and repeat. So I've gone ahead off camera and I've done a number of these complementary choice selections for cadets. I've left Sergeant Orange here, not done purposely, to demonstrate a couple of things to you. And one thing to also add here is that cadets can do additional optional complementary training. This is selected in the Master Scheduler, and we'll be demonstrating that later on. The purpose here is to ensure that the minimum requirements are met. At this point, I'm going to close the form. And as you can see here, I'm getting a revised status message showing that the complementary choices for Sergeant Orange have not been completed. So this is a reminder to you when something like that happens. Once you've registered your Year 5 cadets, you're able to go into the PO schedulers and then select the Master Year 5 Cadet Scheduler. This is a screen that you're going to use to do your instructor and location assignments and manage a lot of your day-to-day training plan management requirements. Just to take a quick tour of the screen, we start off here with the date. We've got our session number and our date, and we can right-click on either to get the training night's option screen for our activities and stand-downs. We've covered that in a previous video. The next box under there shows you the activity information box and the details of any activities happening between this parade night and the next. From there, on the bottom left, I want to show you that we have the ACR, CO parades, and stand downs scheduling buttons. So those are available to you in this screen. And from there, just to take a quick tour, we've got our levels and our phases across the top from 1 through 5. We've got our period content assignments, whether it's an activity or an EO. And along with that, we have fields for the instructor and the location assignments. Moving to the left of the screen, we can see some information boxes then that work with those instructor and location assignments. We've got the instructor list. Note that our Year 5 cadets are automatically already populated into our instructor list, and they have an asterisk beside them. And we'll talk more about the sorting order for this instructor's list so that you can distinguish your Year 5 cadets from other instructors. And then we have our class locations, which we don't have any created yet. Finally, our EO information box, so that if we click on an EO, we see the PO highlighting is working, and we also have that EO information in the box here. Well, one of the things that we use the screen for is managing those Year 5 cadet schedules, and they have their own individual schedules. We'll click on the Show Year 5 Cadet button. You notice our Year 5 level or phase disappears, and we have in place our Year 5 cadets listed to the right. So your training groups, your levels and phases 1 through 4 will stay static on the left side of the screen. We have our Year 5 cadets now displaying on the right side of the screen, and depending on the space available, we have the scroll bar, and we simply use that scroll bar to scroll through our Year 5 cadets. As I indicated, we have that integrated individual cadet scheduling, and so we see that we have the Year 5 mandatory classes already scheduled, and those are automatically inserted into each Year 5 cadet's schedule, along with any other scheduled activities for that training level or phase. In addition to that, then, are the individual scheduling that can take place for each Year 5 cadet. And we simply go to a period for a Year 5 cadet, right-click there, and we've got all the things that are waiting to be scheduled or are available to be scheduled for that Year 5 cadet. If there was any mandatory classes, they would be listed first, followed by complementary training selections, and finally OJT or optional activities. What you have to remember at this point is the scheduling priority for Year 5 cadets is their mandatory classes, which were already scheduled, already into their schedules. Then you need to look at their instructor assignments. Once those are done up, then you can start looking at the remaining available spaces in their schedules to put in their required complementary training classes. And finally, with any periods remaining after that, you can look at OJT assignments and other optional activities for those Year 5 cadets. In our next video, we'll be demonstrating the instructor and location assignment tools over here on the left-hand side, and how to manage Year 5 schedules further.